Hi everyone, welcome back. Storm here.
Jessica here.
Rhaenyra does not want to rule a kingdom of ash and bone, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Understandable.
It was kind of hard not to watch on Sunday night and to avoid all the spoilers.
Oh yes.
You know?
There's been a spoiler ban on the internet. To be fair, my feed has been entirely Dragon Age for the past 2 weeks, so...
Yeah, that's great. I love it. You know, I've been hearing a lot about Dragon Age. I would love to play that because I've never played it before. I hear it's a great game. I need to finish The Last of Us 2 as well because that game was fantastic. I got halfway through and I need to play more. Games are fun, guys, if you have the time to play, which I'm going to make time.
Anywho, other dragons.
Yeah, it was very sad last episode with the twins. And having Eric and Eric die, Eric committing suicide after killing his brother. It was just absolutely devastating. It was so freaking really sad. Was. But he was so loyal to Rhaenyra.
He's just a genuinely nice guy, I thought. You know, he's willing to stick to his guns. He had principles and he lived by them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is what killed him in the end, because he, you know, couldn't live with the fact that he had killed his brother.
Yep. And Daemon, he flew off on his dragon. I guess he's going to Harrenhal. Like, he was pretty upset with Rhaenyra. They had a fight, so I think that's where he's headed. So shall we get into this episode?
Let's do it. I'm still in the middle of rereading Fire and Blood.
That's so great that you're rereading it.
Yeah. And it's just like how much politics is surrounded in the dragon choices and in the sword choices and the crown choices. Like the fact that Aegon's wearing the Conqueror's crown versus Rhaenyra wearing Jaehaerys' crown, and like what that represents for different people.
That's quite incredible.
Yeah, the fact that Aemon has Vhagar is like a thing. Like it means something. Oh, there he is. Oh shit!
Ooh, crud! Oh, right, a slice of. Oh my god! Yeah, the hanging. Yep.
Oh yeah. When Rhaenyra was doing her tour to find a fiance, that like kid who stabbed the other kid.
That impressed me. They're always feuding.
Yeah. This might be that kid.
I was wondering.
Babe, what did you say? Your false queen Rhaenyra is a kinslayer. Your uncle declared for Aegon, did he?
Oh, there's gonna be bloodshed.
Well then, let me tell you. Aegon Targaryen is no true king. Just as you are no true knight. You're both raven. Little gods! You wouldn't dare.
Oh, crap!
Well, that was a cut.
Oh, sick.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh, this isn't that fight, though. This is something else.
Yeah. A lot. Oh, my God. And that's burnt, so it's a dragon. I don't know, like the windmill is burnt.
Oh, my God. There's so many people.
Holy freaking crap, what happened?
Holy crap.
Oh my god.
There's so many people.
Oh.
Here's the basest of villains. He sullies the grave of his brother. I cannot fault him for keeping his oath. What of those who sent him?
I cannot fault him for keeping his oath. Look at her, like, understanding.
I feel like he just regrets his life choices.
Mm-hmm. I know, he's just drowning in it.
King's guard, Your Grace, to replace those we lost. The last one needlessly summoned.
Oh, were those the friends he was hanging out with?
I think so.
He failed to discharge it.
He failed because the scheme was rash.
Perhaps, Your Grace, but we cannot all hide in our castles waiting for war to come to us.
As now it surely will.
As now, it already has.
House Bracken took it upon themselves to attack the Blackwoods, who declared for the Pretender.
Are they always like this?
You're just staying above the same spot.
My late Lord husband's dragon. He's grown restless of late. I cannot know why.
Maybe he's lonely.
Oh. He might be. He sounds like he's crying, like he's sad.
Raina.
This is Harrenhal.
Yep.
So hard to tell in the nights.
Yeah, the way it looks is so iconic. Every dragon's just so unique with their calls.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. There were people here. We just saw them run away.
Yeah, I know. They're nowhere to be found. Oh, never mind.
I mean, Laris isn't here. This is Laris' castle, technically. Right now.
He's gonna kill you.
I, Sir Simon Strong, Castellan of Harrenhal, pledge fealty to Rhaenyra of House Targaryen, first of her name. I swear this by the old gods and the new. Supper is venison with black cabbage and peas. No red coral. Sorry about that.
He's like, I wanted to fight people.
I mean, he served Lionel before Laris, so maybe he's just chill?
My nephew, Lord Lionel, perished by fire, and his son too.
He's smart.
Here, in this damp place. It was the first fire here since Balerion ended the line of Harren the Black. Even in summer we struggle to light the hearths. So no, you will find no loyalty to Laris Strong here, my prince.
Your Grace.
Forgive me, I'd only assumed that as consul.
And we are reminded of the perilousness of assumption.
Indeed. Your Grace. Houses Bracken and Blackwood have long detested one another.
Why?
Oh, well. The answer to that is lost in time.
It's a metaphor.
Sin begets sin. Begets sin.
Summon your Lord Paramount so that I may treat with him myself and turn them to our cause.
That would be Lord Grover Tully, but he grows frail. It's said that he can no longer speak. Nor seal his bowels. Begging your pardon for the impression. His grip on his bannerman is weak. They feel they can do as they please.
I will speak with him nonetheless. People should obey their liege lord. Whatever his condition.
Oh, I'm thinking of his brother.
They're always thinking of his brother.
And a dragon. It's a big chair. Made of swords.
The march will be hard, sir.
No one is more delighted than I to march out to war with the Dornishmen.
Look at his face. Family.
May the Seven guide you. Good night. And lead you not into shadow and death.
You two are so fucked up.
Thank you, Grace, for her prayers.
And request that she grant her favour.
That her Lord Commander may go into battle with her blessings.
In his heart.
Not in front of people.
Here, I blew my nose in this earlier. It's for you.
Your Grace.
Gross.
Yuck.
That was Bran, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, gross.
Three-eyed raven came down and had an eye.
In the past.
Hey, he is all.
But hey, he can time. Yeah, he can jump time.
Yeah.
You have never been so exposed. Perhaps it is time for you to think about secreting yourself somewhere safe.
While we remain here as a source of distraction for the enemy.
We propose to conduct the war in my
Can I get rid of her?
It would merely be a precaution.
It would be treason. You are fortunate you took it no further.
Wow, they're a little
do
conniving.
something.
This council would do well to remember that their queen wears the crown of my grandsire, Jaehaerys the Conciliator. A prudent ruler, the wisest of Targaryen kings whose reign outlasted every other. Even Aegon the Conqueror's.
Nice speech. Cute.
I'll put her on the apple box.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
We are at war, Corliss. If something was before you,
Then it is well that I am a good sailor.
You gotta think about these things, dude.
I have much to attend to.
Enough of that talk. But she's right.
So her mom, the one that died in childbirth, is half Aaron.
go safely, sister.
So she's really hoping their family ties strong.
I hope so.
Far away from any danger with only babes to nurse me. You do a great service. These eggs are even more fragile. But should all come to ruin here, you will bear our hope for the future.
Jeez.
Your Grace.
Wow. I don't know anything about what's to come, but I just... You know dragons are going to fight. And that's when everyone dies.
I feel sad about Jaehaerys. But I ought not to, I think. People die all the time. Especially babes.
I love Jaehaerys, but my concern has been more for you and what you've endured.
Helena, I forgive you.
That was a bigger punch.
I said that I forgive you.
That was like...
Wow.
That was a stab to the heart for her.
Wow. Yep.
Another is that his grace was outwitted by his counsellors and persuaded to fly to war with Sir Criston, so the Queen Alicent may reign in his absence.
What?
With Prince Aemond at her side.
So, this is kind of brilliant.
God.
Who spreads these lies? Matters little. Tales take on a life of their own. Like weeds, unless they are tended. Tend to them then.
Oh, it's all he needed.
He is
The manipulator.
sowing discord between the family. He's reverse psychologing him to stay here.
Yep.
My father always said he had no use for a master of whisperers. And yet, I find myself wanting for one. I should be glad of your talents.
Jeez. All the wrong people getting, like, promoted. And...
I mean, to be fair, he at least has the qualifications for the role.
Yep, exactly.
Shall we escort you to the dragon pit, Your Grace?
Did it work?
I think mayhaps I shall fly another day.
Yeah, it worked.
It does seem wise on reflection.
Yeah, they didn't want to go.
This is my king. Sir Martin has a new squire that wants bedding in.
He's never fucked a woman.
You're sworn to chastity now.
Yes, I mean, no.
Of course, Your Grace.
Ooh.
Oh, they did not think they had him do that.
No, he's like serious about it. Oh, is that that same girl that was like raped by Aegon? A long time ago? It looked like her.
Maybe?
Westeros, my house never settled.
I felt like all the help was slain, but she had to leave.
Hey!
Who was your grandsire?
I know that guy. Like, I'm very excited. I can't remember where he's from.
They call him.
I do that.
Space! I recognize Space.
Bastard brother to Prince Damon.
What?
And the late King Viserys. Uncle to the one true queen.
What?
Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Is that true?
The dragon runs through
Don't
his
tell me.
veins, and yes, men would take my head for it.
Uh-oh. Crap. Crap.
The king!
Yeah,
Oh my god. If he was telling the truth, he's done.
At the pleasure of the crown!
Aim the fears!
Uh-oh.
You've come so far, and yet
Oh,
you're
this
still
is so
lying
awkward
on
because he
very
can't
fast.
say anything to him either.
What a fine, sweet thing.
Oh, he's hurting him.
Did you fuck her like a hound?
And he can't do anything.
I feel like he's gonna, though. So he's gonna beat the shit out of him.
He's gonna not be loyal or just not care about him anymore after this. Oh my god. Holy crap.
Oh, that was...
Yeah, he's not gonna care for his brother. He will care for him.
Yeah, I don't know if
he's gonna resent him or...
Yeah.
We will rendezvous with your army at first light. Or if their wine is good, perhaps a little after first light.
Oh, is he a dragon?
We're exposed.
What?
Cole? Get to the trees!
Moon Dancer. Not the one I was expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see her dragon. I hope everything's gonna be alright. This isn't good.
Interesting that Cole thought to do that, though. Thought to even, like, think like that.
Mm-hmm. She's really gonna, like, burn them up?
Dracarys!
Whoa!
Careful, be careful, be careful!
What is she... I don't like her doing this on her own.
I mean, I was hoping she would find them, but I was also really worried about her.
I know.
Trying to remember exactly what happens.
Not really worried about them.
Oh!
You're dead.
They know we're abroad, they'll be hunting. We must move under the trees and by cover of dark starting tonight.
And no fucking inns.
He's like, yes, sir.
Sir Kristen Cole. With some half-dozen other knights, I'm sure of it. Perhaps a scout party for a greater army.
Ravens confirm me, Your Grace. Lord Farringer's reported a larger force moving northeast towards Crosby.
Could you be certain it was Cole from such a great height?
It was not such a great height, Your Grace.
Oh.
You said not to engage, so I didn't.
Kind of.
Your Grace, we commend the Lady Baylor for her sharp eyes. We can tarry
You what?
The time for action is surely now, Your Grace.
Who is that? Bang. Uh-oh. What the hell?
Alright, I thought I knew who it was, but that was really weird.
Bang. Oh no. Don't open it. Ah!
And I have to clean up after
Oh my god, he's young. Oh, weird.
Oh,
no. Oh my god. That's... Oh no. Oh, see, that guilt. Oh my god, that poor child. What a nightmare.
Oh, damn.
In our face, huh? Or is near the tree?
He's still dreaming?
He got all the way out there.
Or is he sleepwalking?
I think he was sleepwalking.
That's who I thought he was going to meet.
You will die in this place.
You will die in this place.
Does she have an American accent? That's new. So, Viserys' dad, her grandfather, is considered one of the greatest kings of Westeros. Not that they've had a lot of Targaryen kings, but he's considered the greatest.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where Viserys and her right now are both failing, as they're trying to be him. It's like, yeah, a lot of... He did really well, but a lot of situations worked well for him, too.
It's working. Yeah, like they're too peaceful. It is so crazy she's doing this.
He's just gonna sit there and wait. And we got a little dagger up his sleeve.
I mean, he has something, but I think you're screwed if you're found.
Yeah, right? This guy's just like, bad idea, bad idea.
But I have the dagger.
I must speak with you. If I could cry out,
Come on, Stack.
the knights would find me. I would be taken or slain. Then not before I killed you.
And then what?
Oh, I've begun badly.
I've begun badly.
Yeah. Release the tension here.
You lie.
Will there be any clarification?
My father loved me, Alicent. And I believe he loved you, too. Did you betray him at the very last?
If there'd be clarification, there wouldn't be a war.
I mean, here...
Was your ambition so
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, if they clarified this, she'd be like, oh no, that was the dream he was talking about, or whatever.
I swear this to you, on the memory of my mother. I have been at times unkind, but never untrue. I pronounced before all gathered in that room that you would make a fine queen. Do you think me capable of such naked deceit?
Yes. Miss, I fuck Kristen Cole in the back room.
She didn't mean to be deceitful there, though. She thought she was doing right by Viserys. It's all muddied.
What did he say at the end? Did he speak my name?
He said Aegon.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't really say Aegon should be king. That's not the words that left his mouth.
He said he was the prince that was promised to unite the realm. What? I desire peace as you do, but to preserve. Did my father use those words? The prince that was promised? Did he? Yes, he did. He spoke to you of the Song of Ice and Fire.
I thought you were me.
It's a story he once told. About Aegon the Conqueror.
See? See, so she's realizing that she was wrong, so she's clarifying it. It's not going to fix anything, but...
Yeah, at this point, everything's too far gone.
Crap. Now she's like, holy crap, I did make a mistake.
It wouldn't have mattered. Her father was going to do it anyways.
You must go before you are discovered. There's been a mistake. There's been no mistake. Please. You can prevent this, Alicent. A terrible war is looming. And even victory may be so bloody as to be counted a loss. Do not let your pride blind you. There's been no mistake.
She can't go back now.
My father has gone from court. God is on the march, Aemon. You know what Aemon is?
And Aegon.
Killed my son. She did just walk away. Is she gonna like tell anybody? Hopefully not. To actually meet up like this, I'm so amazed that she was able to do this.
And that she did this. This is something that only works in a TV show.
She's just that awesome. I love the music at the end there. I really do like Rhaenyra's decisions, but that is tough. I mean, again, like you were saying, she's trying to be like her dad. She wants to be the peaceful leader, but sometimes you have to act, and everyone's like gnawing and just like ready to fight, and she's, you know, to take this big of a risk. I'm just so impressed, and I know it was not a good idea to risk it, but she's really trying to stay true and be that leader that her father wants her to be, and to actually risk her own life, and how genuine she is. And she really tried to do it the right way, like she was taught. Like, I applaud her for that. It was a huge risk, and here she did try, and I think she's going to get out of this. She's going to walk away, and she's still going to be everyone's going to be in danger. Like, everything's going to be bad soon, but I think she's going to get out of King's Landing and be okay there. But to actually meet up and talk like that face to face, I was just like
that
in shock and
I'm not on
admired
board
her
with
for
that decision. It worked because plot armor, but
yeah, that was a huge risk. I mean, there were so many things that could go wrong so easily, and I think it was a cool disguise. I mean, people could recognize her face close up, but they didn't, so that was good. But yeah, so maybe if this was real, like, yeah, maybe she wouldn't have made it or something. But anyways, like, I think I can see why she did that, and I was impressed that she risked her life to actually go that far and to try to make peace with Alicent. But I'm glad Alicent now knows the truth. I mean, I know there's no going back, but I really wanted that outcome. I really wanted to see her face and her realization of, oh crap, I misinterpreted what my husband said in death. Like, he meant Aegon the Conqueror. So for them to have that conversation, it made me feel better. Like, I feel like I have some closure there, but it doesn't help in this situation.
Cleared it up.
Yeah, she can't take it back anyways, because her son is on the throne now, and if she takes that, I mean, even if she surrendered or whatever, I think her whole family's dead. Like, I think they're just gonna, I mean, Rhaenyra would try to do the right thing, and she probably wouldn't do anything, like kill them. She'd probably punish them in some way. Maybe Aemon, she probably would kill Aemon. But, you know, she just didn't want to take back that decision. She made it, and she has to stay true by it. She has to stay loyal to it. So it all sucks. After all of that, you know, war is on its way. Dance of the Dragons, it's on its way. And again, I don't know what exactly that means. I've heard of Dance of the Dragons and Game of Thrones, and I just remember it was very bad. I know Daenerys and her brother were like the only Targaryens, and Jon, but there weren't that many left. So
yeah, well, I mean, Dance of the Dragons is just the name of this wartime period. It's nothing specific. It's just this, you know, like calling something World War I or whatever. This is the Dance of the Dragons. We're watching it.
Yes, and I believe many are going to die, but I don't know for sure, and I really hope I'm wrong, but I just feel this dread. it's just bad. It's all bad. So what do you think? I can just keep ranting.
I mean, I'm glad they cleared it up, but I don't know how much that changes it. And it probably kind of wonders if it would have been better if they didn't clear it up, because, like, it makes sense to me that these battles and wars are fought on such, like, miscommunications. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it started with the fight when they were, like, kids, and this kid was mean to this kid, who was mean to this kid, you know, and the fact that it just snowballs, like, I really, that's one of the things I really like about the story, is that there's no, like, oh, this is the inciting incident, this is the thing that did it. It's just this combination of random events, and to, like, mishear or misunderstand something a character said, and for it to be, like, this moment that just adds, I feel like is a really good thing. So now that she knows, I mean, I think it's going to look real bad for her, because she's going to know this going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I get that too, because like we saw with the other feuding families, what are they called, the Brackens and the Blackwoods or something, and when Damon was asking like why, and well,
Lost
it's been
time.
going on, it's lost some time, yes, exact words, and I just thought that was well spoken, because it sucks, but that's what war does. Like, you just have one bad hateful thing happen, and it just, you know, snowballs down, and it's just really bad to be that hateful. I mean, seeing that war, like the aftermath of all those people dead in that field near that windmill, like that was crazy. I thought a dragon did that. I mean, people can burn things too, yes, but I just thought dragon. And it was just those two feuding families. People. And they killed so many over some lost hate. It's just so crazy to me. So we see that in everything. And here you had people who were a tight mess, you know, but people did care for each other like Alicent and Rhaenyra. But things are just too messy, and it's lost in time at this point. Like, they still understand certain actions, but it's just too far into it where they can't take it back. And so I can see like not knowing and just believing that you're right and just blindly moving forward with that. But I do kind of feel relief to be like, or satisfaction is really what I mean, being like, ha, see. But Alicent, even though she's doing a lot of bad things, you know, she initially wanted to do right by her husband. She was always so loyal to him, so she misinterpreted that, and then everything went to crap. So even though, say, like, if she didn't misinterpret that, and, you know, Viserys didn't say that, I think she would let Rhaenyra be queen, and I think that would have happened.
But her dad would not have.
Yeah, so I'm curious, because I know Otto was ready to just act when she came in, and everyone on the council was like ready too. So I don't know if they would have acted if Alicent didn't agree with that, because they were just waiting for her to give the okay, or just her giving the okay just started it sooner. Like maybe during, you know, right before she was crowned queen or something, they would have like poisoned her drink or something crazy. I don't know, but they might have done something. You're right. So maybe it was just inevitable no matter what. But yeah, so this all sucks. And Bela, I thought she was awesome on her dragon. She made me freaking nervous, because
she made me nervous too, because I can't remember what happens to her.
Yes,
and not that part of my reread.
Yeah, right. And again, I know nothing, but like I'm just so worried all this bad is going to happen. I mean, we keep hearing about dragon against dragon, ash and bone. You're just asking for death and ruin, and it's just horrible. And we know House of the Dragon, Targaryen, Valerian. I mean, I have a feeling it's going to end with a dragon and dragon war, like dragons butting heads. It's not good. So I'm worried for all these innocent people, like these kids. We've already seen poor kids like get slaughtered, and I'm worried for Bela. So I'm like, okay, so she hasn't really seen real war yet. She has a dragon. It's a cool dragon. It's big to me, but compared to all the other dragons on the series, it's not that big. And I just felt like, even though she had the upper hand in a way, going after Cole and his soldiers, like, you know, like how she's not experienced. So one wrong move, they could possibly get to her in some way if they have like the right weapon, if they, you know, make something in the woods.
Crossbow and good aim. So
yeah,
this whole thing kind of started actually with a crossbow and some good aim, or bad aim, depending on how you look at it. Because King Jaehaerys, the Conciliator, the one everyone loves, he had a billion kids, right? His line of succession was solid as stone. And then his firstborn died.
He was busy.
Arrow to the neck. And then that guy's daughter is Rhaenyra's. And then the second son after that, he was like, okay, well, do we go to Rhaenyra or do we go to the second son? They killed the second son, or the second son died from appendicitis.
Oh my god!
So he died. That's Viserys' dad. Viserys and Daemon's dad. Okay. So that's when everything started getting messed up. Is that they're like, okay, well now what do we do? Like they had a whole bunch of kids that died. It was really sad.
It is sad.
And it was
it's almost like things are fated. You know, because the show like is fated with a lot of things, like the Song of Ice and Fire, and it's almost like, you know, you have this really good king, and Fate is choosing that, oh, these sons aren't going to make it, but we want you to take Rhaenyra, like we want her to be, because I think she would have been a great queen. Like, she's awesome with Rhaenyra. She has her back, even though her son was killed by her. That's what she thinks. And yeah, I mean, I just like that idea of Fate, and, you know, people.
Yeah, it's very strong when you're reading it. There's so many moments you're like, oh man, if I could somehow hop on this book and change this one thing, you know, maybe things would have turned out differently.
Yeah.
And they don't. Surprise! You can't change it. It's happening.
You can't. I love your joke about Bran.
That feeling, and the show I think is doing that really well too. It's capturing all those moments where you're just like, oh man, if only this, and even this episode, we're like, oh, if only Alicent knew what he was talking about. But the wheels are in motion, and they keep on turning.
Yeah, because again, like, some characters are really messed up. Like, most of the characters, or if not all, are like completely flawed. I get that, and I love how complicated that gets. And Alicent, like, I just like because she's so strong in her opinion, I'm believing Viserys, that I was just kind of like, ha, you were wrong. See, you misinterpreted that, and that's all your fault for, like, you know, putting this in motion. But again, like you said, you know, Otto was probably going to do it one way or another, even if Alicent didn't hear that incorrectly or whatever, and let Rhaenyra take the throne. So, yeah, so I think that's probably, with no spoilers please, but I think that's probably the last moment they're going to speak to each other. This was a calmer episode. I mean, Daemon going to Harrenhal, and like all these like tense moments, and it was all talk. I mean, they were good conversations, and yet it was so crazy to see that and to have that dream. So that tree, I don't remember the lore. I know that gets really complicated, but, you know, he was, was he drawn to that tree and had that nightmare because it's tied together? Was that Bran calling out to him? Because he's
very possibly, yeah.
All throughout time, or someone connected. But, yeah, that was crazy. What a weird dream. Because I'm like, is a dragon knocking on his door? I know it wasn't a dragon, but I'm like, who's, like, heavily, like, hammering like that? Who else is there?
Which, oh my gosh, that dream moment where it's young Rhaenyra. I'm so glad they brought her back.
I was so happy to see her face too. And it took me a moment before I saw the boy, and I was just staring at her face, and then I was like, oh God. I thought she was sewing like clothes or something. And I'm like, oh God, it's the boy. Yeah. Like, that was disturbing. But I'm glad to see that Daemon does feel some guilt about that. I mean, sometimes it's really hard to see what he's feeling. Like, he gets very stubborn.
He keeps it all very close to his chest.
He does. So I'm really happy to see that did bother him. And that woman that we saw that said, you're going to die here, who is she supposed to be? Am I supposed to know that?
No, you're not supposed to know that yet. So I'll let the show tell you that as
she's not from Game of Thrones or something.
She's in the book. She is a character. They're starting very slowly to introduce a bunch of the more like ancillary characters, or the characters who will start to play a bigger role. They really are kind of dragging it out a little bit.
Okay.
But I was happy to see her. She's an interesting one. We've obviously met what's his face. I know his nickname. I forget his actual name. That in the bar,
Alan
going
and
like,
Adam.
"Oh, I am son of
yeah." So don't tell me, because I don't know if if it's okay to know or not. But I am curious if he's actually related.
Like, I mean, I will say that there's no way to know. Like, the book is not that detailed, or like the book can say there's a rumor about this, but there's no way the book is written 200 years after all the events happen. So it doesn't.
I mean, I'll be gullible and naive. I'll just be like, yeah, he probably is the half brother, and there's probably a lot of people like that, because apparently a lot of kings sleep around, you know. And speaking of which, not a king, but Aemond, I actually did feel bad for him, because I'm so mad with what he did, losing his temper and going after Luke. But again, everything's muddied, because he is so hateful about losing his eye. He lost his temper. He has the biggest dragon right now, and the dragons are wild. I mean, you can only control them so much, and he lost control of his dragon. Luke lost control of his first, and it blew fire at him, and he got pissed off, or she got pissed off, and he couldn't control that. So he really does feel guilty about that, and I feel bad. And him just like liking this girl, like opening up to her. Like it's a weird relationship where it's sexual but it's motherly, and he just can fully expose himself. Haha, no pun intended, but like he could just be full on like himself and just open emotionally to her, and to be just like so embarrassed like that by his king brother, and he can't do anything about it. He has to take it. He can't just like hide like a coward or run away or push him away. He can't do anything, so he just has to take it. And Aegon, like, I think he would have been better if he wasn't so drunk, but yeah, he just has to take it, and it was just like worse. And I think even though Aemon, I think he cares for his brother, and he is staying true to his role where he's trying to protect the king. I don't know. I really think he does care for his brother, even though they do bash heads a little bit. But this, I think, messed with him quite a bit, and I don't think he'll betray Aegon, but I think he has less respect for him.
I don't know how much respect he's ever had for him, but like he definitely, I think, still has a bond with him.
Yeah,
no matter what.
He definitely has some hurt
this
now.
Is definitely
so
shaking
it. Affect
so
anything.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and I get why Aemon, and I get why, I forget her name if it was even said, but that lady he was with, you know, he had to say those hurtful things because he has to be this certain guy. Like, he can't show weakness or that he doesn't want to be judged. So maybe he's trying to protect her.
It's the only place he can actually open up. And Aegon just took that from him.
Yeah, so maybe he's trying to protect himself and protect her and just not be, like, associated, like, you know, with that. But, yeah, so that was an interesting scene, and I did really feel bad for him. And, I mean, King's Landing, the whole, like, everything about it is just going to hell. I mean, the King's Guard, Cole being freaking hand, which is so freaking weird. And I know he didn't want the role anyways, and you can't really say anything once Aegon, you know, wants something. But, yeah, it's all crazy. And meeting Alicent's brother, Gwaine, not Wayne, Gwaine, right? Gwaine. We need to have a G in there. It's just like Catelyn and like all these names are almost like like.
To be fair, that's a real name. Gwaine's a real name. It's like a common name. Gwaine the Green Knight. Gwaine the Green Knight. Sir Gwaine the Green Knight. So
Gwaine.
It's spelled differently, I think, though. Not positive.
Gwaine. The subtitles were showing G Wayne, but who knows?
I'm pretty sure Gwaine is spelled Gawain.
God, make it harder.
Yeah.
God. I'm not going to get that right now. But, yeah, so him having respect for Cole because Cole really understood how dragons work, and he knew that they were so exposed.
I mean, I guess he has previously been to war, but I don't think there was a dragon involved in the war.
So what made him look up? I mean, again, you're right, like probably not, and maybe just like overthinking being around dragons in King's Landing a little bit. Maybe he just kind of figured, or just looked up in the sky at the right moment.
Happenstance.
Yeah, right. It's like, ooh,
but
it was so tiny in the background, like to even think of that. I'm like, of course you're going to be thinking that because it's going to be everyone's in war right now, so dragons are eventually going to be part of it. Yeah, so you always have to keep your eye in the sky, and they were very exposed, so. They're lucky they got out of that. Staying in the tree line is definitely a smart idea. You know, to be out in the open field like that for so long and not even think about it till then was a huge risk. So they're very lucky to get out of that.
I don't want to make this young woman a murderer, but also I really want her to burn Cole.
I know, you know, again, Cole... you too, I know, like, I felt bad for him with young Rhaenyra when they were both young, and he was more in love with her.
Now.
Yeah, and he is just so evil, and like we've been seeing this season, I mean, even last season, but this season, like, he feels the weight. I can tell he feels the guilt, but he twists into something more evil to make it, like, he justifies it, and he keeps making excuses why it's okay. Like, sleeping with Alicent, putting on the white cloak, like she's putting that on him. What was it, the first episode or whatnot. Yeah. So here, like, oh, Rhaenyra, I slept with you, and, you know, I just ruined everything I stand for because I love you, and we can make this right by running off, and then he completely screws that up. I mean, it's complicated, but you know what I mean. Like,
that one. She dodged the bullet. I think if she had said yes, that would have gone sour real fast.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, it hurt his pride a lot, but yeah, like, people can change for the worse, for the better, in this case for the worse. Maybe he would have been okay, but to be this hateful over something like that and stay like that for the rest of your life, many, many, many years later, like, that is very disturbing. And I get there's a lot of more weight on his job. It's not like us just, like, you know, quitting a job or something. Like, this is something that you swear your life to forever, and you know, you broke your vows, and it's a disgrace. You know, you can kill you get punished for it, right? So, like, you possibly die for it, and it's a huge deal. But yeah, like, he's just,
or worse.
Yeah, he's just so
worse
freaking
has happened.
Yeah, which is even, yeah, it's more disturbing to even think that way, and it's so true. So for him to be this hateful, and now, you know, he's mentally disturbed, and he just, like, justifies it all in his head, and now he's contradicting everything, and doing things in the worst ways possible, and still, like, making it other people's problems. It's just crazy to see that. And Laris, he's great at his job. He's really good at manipulating people.
Like,
yeah,
we have to give him that much. His resume says all the right things.
Really does. He's like,
yeah, he knows what he's doing. So from a purely competency point of view, great hire by Aegon. Great hire.
I know, right? Yeah, so he's spot on. And then thank goodness Rhaenyra also has White Worm, that she has Mysaria, so I like her a lot better, and she's really good with whispers as well. So it's
which
very nice.
I wanted to comment on. I find it really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to see how this goes moving forward. That this show seems to really be about women, especially within the constraints of this culture. Like, obviously there's a ton of women in Game of Thrones, and they all had really interesting story arcs, but I feel like that's what the focus is in this series in a lot of ways, because we get to see Alicent and Rhaenyra play off of each other, the different ways that they handle it, the different burdens that have been put on them. Childbirth is a huge part of this story. Not having children, having children, the right kinds of children.
Yep.
Like that. And so you see Rhaenyra building this almost cabinet between Rhaenys and Mysaria and her stepdaughters, and just, like, kind of, you know, there are all these guys yelling at her, and the only one she's looking at is Rhaenys. The only person she goes to afterwards is Mysaria.
That's true.
And then she goes across the freaking channel or whatever to go talk to Alicent. Like, these are the voices that she's listening to. I think it's really interesting. I'm curious to see how that continues to play out as the story moves forward.
You know, I did notice that, but I never really thought about it, you know, and it's true. I mean, it's even more involved with that. And it's great to see these strong female characters. And I really like Rhaenyra. Like, she is, like, one of my favorites, too. I just think she's very strong, well-spoken, and I just like how she speaks to everyone, and she has a lot of confidence about her when she speaks. And so there's a lot of strong female roles in this. I agree. And one thing, I know, of course, childbirth is very risky, but it really, like, I think about that a lot during House of the Dragon, because in these times you couldn't have a C-section and survive it, you know? And that's a constant risk. And I've heard that Targaryens too, I don't know if it's like if they're really cursed because of magic with dragons, but they have more complications with childbirth because of their bond with dragons. A couple of fans told me something like that, and I thought that was quite interesting.
Okay, get ready to put on your tinfoil hat. Tinfoil hat is on.
And go.
There's these theories that fly around, and it's mostly centered around the dragons, but it's not centered on the Targaryens, that the Maesters of Old Town, either back when Aegon became conqueror, or after this Dance with the Dragon turned out really bad, or later on or whatever, they were just like, you know what? These dragons are bad. Not just dragons, maybe also the people. But we can't outwardly do anything about it because they will burn us alive. So there's thoughts that the Maesters are the ones that have made it so the dragons started to get smaller and smaller and eventually died out, which is why there's no dragons when Game of Thrones starts.
Okay.
And there was actually a big conspiracy in Old Town. And that maesters are the ones that are in charge of the doctor care of these kings and queens. You know, they're the ones who are making sure that everyone's safe medically. So, you know, there also could be, just like these Targaryens are a little scary, and maybe some complications should happen. Especially the maesters of Old Town. The high towers on our Old Town are very well connected.
Conspiracies.
All right,
conspiracies. Oh my goodness, I love that. I was like, ooh, where's this conspiracy going? Okay, well, that is quite interesting.
So this is not me spoiling anything. This is entirely fan theories. So nothing is ever said, this is what happened. So I'm not saying that this is for sure or anything. This is...
Thank you for sharing that. And I can't wait to see what our fans have to say in the comments, because there's just so much lore and theories, and I freaking love it. You know, just Game of Thrones, even though the last couple seasons weren't great at all, like, I really enjoyed most of the story, and I just love the characters, and House of the Dragon, same thing, you know, different storytelling, but I just love the feel of this world and how it's told, and it just feels so real, and, you know, you just get so invested in it, and there's just so much to talk about all the time, and I just freaking love it. So I think we're going to end it there. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Jessica, for watching with me. Definitely a pleasure. And I'm afraid for next episode, but I also can't wait for it. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Guys.